It seems like more and more Americans are struggling just to get by month to month. And I believe Dave Ramsey has a quote where he says 80% of people are one financial burden away from being completely bankrupt. That's pretty scary to me. But it seems like we're entering into a data center dystopia. Let's get off into this.
We spent $327 for electricity. That's crazy.
Our bill was $370.59, right? What the fudge is all
Now, if your house is massive, I understand. But if you don't have a big house,
this? A power plant, other surcharges?
128 of a surcharge is wild work.
This is crazy. I don't know how people are going to survive this.
It's going up to 11% now. 11%. Almost 88,000 people's electric has been shut off due to this.
If you live in Augusta, did your power bill look like a car note last month? Because it's not
Electric bill looks like a car note.
not some of us, it's all of us.
Your electricity bill went up 30% last year, and it's not just inflation.
And what's funny, dude, is I checked this with Cass, and ours did as well, but they're also building a massive data center here in Abilene.
Data centers caused $9.3 billion in increased costs. You're literally paying for big tech's electricity. These data centers are popping up everywhere. They're being built in almost every state. Virginia has over 600 data centers. It is the data center capital of the world. There's probably a data center closer to you than you realize, and more are being built every day. But here's what made me suspicious. If these companies are worth trillions of dollars, then why do politicians celebrate them like they won the lottery? I found the answer in tax documents. Data centers aren't just being built with big tech's money, they're being built with the help of your tax dollars. In November of last year, it was discovered that Laidley LLC, a newly created Delaware shell company, applied for a 401 water quality certification for a proposed project by the name of Project Sucra. Laidley LLC turned out to be none other than...
It reminds me of Dr. Evil. Project...
Meta.
We just announced that we were building a 2 gigawatt plus data center in Louisiana that we're gonna use to train future versions of Llama. We were in this for the long term.
We got to be in the future, bro. Data center to train the future generations of Llama, bro. If you would have, bro, what? The word salad mark. What's going on?
And we are committed to building the most advanced AI in the world.
Meta is now building a $10 billion facility in Louisiana.
God, I thought they were building one in Alabama or something. Golly.
This thing is massive at 2,250 acres. That's bigger than 1,700 American football fields. The state gave them tax breaks so massive, they keep the exact amount confidential, but we know it was upwards of $1 billion. Meta claims this will create
$1 billion.
500 permanent jobs, but we know based on previously built data centers that the real number is somewhere around 50 jobs.
Right, this is very true. Like I said, I live in Abilene and they're building a massive data center here. A lot of the guys that like are truckers or day laborers, they can't get these gigs. They're hiring guys that are from out of town to come in, and all the Airbnbs are booked out. All the hotels are booked out. Motels are booked out. Like, just to give you guys some reference here, we had a baby shower a few weeks ago. If you guys want to check out the video, it's on my IG. We had a baby shower. I had an uncle and an aunt that came in from Paris, Texas, and they said they couldn't find a room at 3 hotels. The 4th hotel they stopped at was a Motel 8, and it was $200 a night. You know how mad I'd be? I'd be madder than a hornet's nest if I showed up to a Motel 8 and they said, yeah, it's going to be about $200. $200 for a Motel 8? Man, I remember back in my day, you show up to a Motel 8 at $60, $59.99, and you know what? I'll tip you just because I'm a nice guy. $200 for a Motel 8, a roach-infested bed with probably bed bugs and dookie stains? I got pee-pee stains. I got skid marks in the toilet when I show up. It doesn't even flush. You got to hold it down. The water doesn't run right. It doesn't even get hot. Like, bro, where are we at? And yet I have neighbors that are truckers. I have neighbors that are day laborers. I have neighbors that do roofing, and they can't get these jobs. It's truly sad.
That's $20 million in tax breaks per job created. $20 million.
Well, whether it's 500 jobs, I'll take it. Here, 5 jobs in this area was a big thing before this came here. In Louisiana, we'll take every
5 jobs is a big thing. Boy,
you're a liar. Job that we can. When you add the 500 jobs plus the 5,000 construction jobs, it starts to build out. Remember, Jesus started with 12, and look how big his church is.
But let's
Bro, don't bring Jesus into this.
look at some of these jobs the governor is referring to. Data center design, engineering, and construction, remote. Capacity planning director, remote. Principal energy strategy, remote. All of these high-paying jobs are for remote workers. And we know the bulk of job creation comes from the development of the data center. But even then, it may not be done by local crews. So what are the jobs?
Well, and that's what's crazy. The data center that's being built here, I think they said there's like 5,000 day laborers, but when it comes down to it, there's only going to be like 200 jobs that are permanent at the data center.
Being left to the locals. Security guard. But even security guards are increasingly being replaced by AI-powered security cameras. Remember when your power went out last summer? Here's why. The North American Electric Reliability Corporation, the regulatory authority that monitors the entire U.S. continental power grid, including parts of Canada and Mexico, issued a warning. Our grid is becoming alarmingly unreliable. This is
I heard that all of our grid is run on like a Wi-Fi router, and if China really wanted to do it, all they got to do is hack the Wi-Fi password. We'd go straight dark.
some local utility company. This is the federal authority responsible for ensuring that power companies from coast to coast keep the lights on. And the costs are exploding. PJM, the organization that coordinates wholesale electricity for 67 million Americans, just held their annual auction. The price tag, $16.1 billion.
That's insane. And dude, when I lived in Austin, we had an outage because of some snow. And dude, I was out of power for like 3 or 4 days in Austin, Texas, of all places. Out of power.
In just the first half of 2025, energy companies across the U.S. got approved for $29 billion in rate increases.
It makes you think, chat. Is it really about the data center? Or is it about the energy consumption, huh? Are you just trying to get all these tax breaks for the energy consumption so you can offset costs and be net positive? I don't know, man. It's a little fishy.
Staggering 142% increase from the same time last year. Florida Power and Light alone wants $9.8 billion more over 4 years.
Not Georgia Power pulling up to change the meter because everybody's light bill's been abnormally high, and she out there changing the meter. I've been calling them for months. They just changed this meter over here and told me that everybody had been complaining about their electrical bill being super high, $700, $1,200. I called Georgia Power.
That's insane. I have a 3... Chat, let me know right now in the comments. Let me know in the chat. What is your electric bill? We have to band together to figure out what's going on. Personally, for me, our electric bill last year was like $100 a month, and now it's around $200, maybe $250. But Cass is pregnant, and we keep the house pretty cold now, so I don't know if that's a thing, but I feel like I'm going to start seeing more of it as this data center goes up.
Months ago, I let them know it's abnormally high. It's only 2 people in here. My light bill should not be $600, $700, $800.
That's a rent payment.
Absolutely ridiculous. And they were saying it goes based on
That's as much as I spent on Labubu's last month.
Usage. It goes based on my daily usage. I understand that, but it's only 2 people in here. I only have a 2-bedroom townhouse.
Bro, there's no way it should be $700.
So let me get this straight. The current power grid is under stress. It has rolling blackouts across the U.S. It can't support our current needs. Yet we're going to pay billions of dollars so that data centers can use even more electricity. Look at where they're building these things. Arizona, Texas, Nevada, some of the driest states
I was about to say the driest and hottest areas, bro.
America.
Data centers are a 24/7 operation. They have to keep the servers cool, and that takes a lot of power, a lot of air conditioning to do so.
Do we have the resources? Do we have the electric capacity, the water capacity to continue to grow this business in Arizona? Is it sustainable?
Not at the moment.
They're putting the thirsty...
Bro, not at the moment, but they're building so many of them. That's why when I found out about like Bitcoin mining, they're like, yeah, I mean, you can mine Bitcoin, but it takes a lot of power and it takes a lot of cooling power because these things get really hot. Like, we're not ready for this. Why are we building all these data centers? Ain't that right, Loki? I've fallen at work and been injured. Oh, wait. I should call my lawyer.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan.
Hey, John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. It's Levi Nichs of YouTube. Can I get some cash, please?
Morgan and 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 Morgan.
Did you know that your injury could be worth millions of dollars? Morgan & Morgan is the largest injury law firm in America, and they've recovered over $20 billion for their clients. $20 billion? That's a lot of cash. The insurance companies tried to lowball me, but Morgan & Morgan was able to take my pain and suffering and turn it into cold, hard cash. It's almost a good thing I was injured. But wait. How much is Morgan & Morgan gonna cost me? You never owe them legal fees unless they're successful. So it's completely free unless you win? Yeah. Hiring a lawyer, that sounds like really difficult. It's actually super easy. You can just go to their website, and in a couple clicks, you can find out if you have a case. And you can literally do it from your smartphone. And remember, there is only one Morgan & Morgan. Wait, it's two names though. How is it? Give me the script. Oh, both their last names. Okay, I get it. Okay, roll it. You can start your claim today by going to forthepeople.com/Levi, found in the description below. So if you're injured, you can trust Morgan & Morgan. Y'all know what time... Oh, did you see him flinch? Y'all know what time it is. Loki, free? Free? Wait. Can we get some frees in the chat, please? Free. Go to your place.
Buildings in the country in the desert. It doesn't seem logical, right? Well, it's because it is in fact the desert. Corporations can buy massive plots of land at low cost and receive
that's true, because nobody wants to buy land in the middle of the desert.
Big tax breaks from local officials. Electricity is cheaper, there's less regulation, fewer natural disasters like hurricanes, and there's proximity to California. San Antonio's 2 data centers drank 463 million gallons of water in the last 2 years alone. Meanwhile, the city has been in a drought. Residents could only water lawns once a week. A paper submitted to the Texas Water Development Board projected that data centers in the state will consume 49 billion gallons of water in 2025. That number is expected to rise to 399 billion gallons of water by 2030. But what happened in Tucson shows just how
far... Bro, it makes you think we should start measuring things in other than gallons. 399 billion, bro. Let's just start, let's maybe make the gallons a little bigger when we're talking about measurements that large.
Far they'll go. City officials in Tucson signed a non-disclosure agreement for a vague project referred to as Project Blue. City officials serving the public, but hiding
what was the project that... Oh, God, I'm trying to... Oh, what was the project that Dr. Evil had, bro? Project what? What was it, chat? Project... God, what was it called? The Alan Parsons Project. That was the Alan Parsons. Every time she does the air quotes, that's what I can't help
going on in their city. A document about the development of Project Blue was obtained through public records. The company behind Project Blue, none other than Amazon. They wanted 290 acres to build 3 massive buildings. And the worst part, they wanted to use drinking water to cool the data center in Arizona.
Why?
In the middle of a drought.
Use toilet water.
However, the people fought back, and the city council voted unanimously no.
Aye. Item passes. Thank you all.
But Amazon won't give up. They will just go...
Why do you need drinking water to cool these things down, bro?
...to the next town over, and the next...
Use urine.
And the next, until someone says yes. And this is happening everywhere. In Wyoming, there's a massive data center being built that will use 5 times more power than all humans in the entire state. Let me say that part again. 5 times more electricity than every home, every business, every person in Wyoming combined. It could consume twice as much electricity as the entire state currently produces. And yet, no one knows who's using it. The development company Crusoe will not confirm nor deny if it is part of OpenAI's Stargate project, but we know that Crusoe is behind the development of OpenAI's Texas data center. Virginia gave away $730 million in tax exemptions to data centers last year. Which companies got the money? They won't tell you. The state handed out $750 million with zero...
Bro, I need to get into the data center business.
Transparency. The worst part, Virginia generated 48 cents in new state revenue for every dollar it did not collect in sales tax, meaning for every tax dollar that Virginia gives to these major corporations, they lose 52 cents per dollar. But if these multi-billion-dollar companies are receiving all of these tax exemptions, who do we think is going to make up the difference for this 52 cents?
Us.
Virginians. They're going to pass on the tax burden to the locals to make up on this tax budget. What Virginia did is technically legal, but what I found in Oregon is criminal. 4 Monroe County officials got caught red-handed. They voted to give Amazon massive tax breaks. What Amazon did or didn't know was that officials owned 20% stakes in Windwave Communications, a fiber company that, surprise, surprise, was contracted with Amazon to lay fiber for Amazon's data center. These local officials who are supposed to be voting in favor of the public voted in favor of enriching themselves. Now, they were fined $2,000 per person.
$2,000 each? Bro, that's a slap on the wrist. That's like fining LeBron $5. It's nothing, dude.
Georgia legislators are getting soaked with money from Georgia Power. We're saying
conflict of interest?
Absolutely. It is clearly corrupting. This is the highest paid utility CEOs in the country. Why is
33 million? Oh my God. 27 million, 26 million, 23 million, 21 million. Bro, how? Okay, let's do some quick math. Let's just do some really quick math. 33 million divided by 12. That's 2.75 million a month. God, that is, in my opinion, there's no reason anybody working in the energy field or energy space that should be getting paid this much. This is insane. $33 million. That's an NBA contract.
Is the poorest region in the country paying the most to our CEOs?
$23 million. $33 million.
It's ridiculous how much money they make.
But the corruption goes deeper. Massive corporations are spending millions on lobbyists, the people who go around whispering in politicians' ears.
I'll show you a lobbyist. Okay, you guys are sick.
Attempting to get them to create policy changes that benefit tech billionaires. Meta, Google, Microsoft, TikTok, X, and Snapchat spent $61.5 million on lobbying. They employed 300 lobbyists. That's 1 lobbyist for every 2 members of Congress. Imagine someone's job is going around and trying to convince your representative that major corporations need more tax breaks. And that's
bro, some of these lobbyists probably the best salespeople on the planet, bro.
$61.5 million, that's just what they have to report. $1.9 billion in dark money flowed through the 2024 election, untraceable, anonymous. And that's
But I'm the bad guy for wanting gas to be $2 again.
Just what researchers could identify. The real number is likely higher. So when your local politician all of a sudden supports a data center that nobody wanted, when tax breaks appear out of nowhere, when your governor says data centers are vital for economic growth, check their campaign finances for big tech's fingerprint. But the sickest part, this corruption has a body count. This is xAI's
Wait, what's this big tech or big data center body count? Huh? Chad, what's your body count, you sick individual?
Colossus data center in Memphis, the largest AI cluster in the world. Elon Musk's AI project powering Grok. To meet its massive energy demands, xAI installed 35 methane gas turbines.
We went to Memphis and found an environmental crime scene. Musk's data center burning enough methane to power a small city with no permits and no pollution controls.
I have not seen anything like this. We believe they've already violated the Clean Air Act.
And it's not just Memphis. UC Riverside.
But the thing is with Elon Musk, he'll get a slap on the wrist. How much is it? $2 billion? Like, here you go. Don't matter to me.
And Caltech researchers found that data centers nationwide have created a staggering $5.4 billion in public health costs.
There's no sleeping for anybody in the area at night. This noise turns 24/7. So you're pretty sleep deprived. People have headaches, migraines, dizziness. You don't spend any time outside unless you absolutely have to.
This is our
And
home.
dude, I feel bad for these people because these are the regular everyday people like me and you, chat, that have to deal with the repercussions of this. They have to pay for it, and then their homes are affected. And you know, it looks like that lady had maybe some livestock, some horses. Now the livestock's having to deal with the repercussions of this and the after effects of the methane being pumped in the environment. It's terrible.
Water pressure in the kitchen.
So you can see the sediment from the data center. Wow, and that's just from the water coming out of your faucet.
Yeah. And this is what's in all the pipes.
People are complaining about constant noise, chemical smells, and worsening asthma. And while they keep breathing in these fumes, their electricity bill is on the rise. Memphis
Bro, I can't imagine you got sediment in your water and then your bill's going up.
electricity rates went up 4% in 2024, another 4% approved for 2025, and another 4% planned for 2026. And it will only get worse as the development of a second Colossus data center is already underway. And in Abilene, Texas, where OpenAI is building their
Told you, chat.
$15 billion Stargate project, local officials gave an 85% property tax break. Regular Texans pay an average of 1.81% every year, no exceptions. Between 2019 and 2024, property taxes increased nearly 30% nationwide. The median American now pays $250 a month just in property tax.
I can vouch for that. My property taxes went up this last year. I had to fight for it. And you can appeal it, which I always suggest appealing it, Chad, if you do own a home.
I mean, my electric bill hasn't been under $200 in months. I can't even remember. And now it's property tax time in Connecticut. Our property tax for our home went up $1,000, $1,080 to be exact. I don't understand it. And that's on top of the vehicle property taxes that we have to pay.
The data center will create supposedly 357 jobs. Yet, just as we saw with Meta, there's no requirement that those jobs are local. Data center security technical lead, remote. Enterprise security engineer, remote. Security engineer, cloud security, remote.
Yeah, exactly. Like, none of these jobs are actually coming to Abilene. Right? I've talked to a lot of people locally. I'm like, why don't you go work out there? And they're like, bro, they're not hiring people locally. They're hiring people from out of town and housing them here. And I'm like, that's crazy.
Not even one of the jobs listed on LinkedIn is for Abilene, Texas. Even if all of the 357 jobs were local, that's still a tiny fraction of jobs compared to the billions in investments and the massive amounts of tax breaks. Some of these tax breaks have a 10-year window, but the company could go under in 10 years and then the state would never recoup its money. That lost revenue has to be made up. Either schools get less funding, your roads don't get fixed, or, and this is usually what happens, your taxes go up to pay the difference. When local officials celebrate landing a data center with massive tax breaks, what they're really saying is, we increased your taxes to subsidize a $1 trillion company. By 2030, data centers will use triple what they use now. Your bill isn't going back down.
Bro, but, okay, this stuff sucks. I'm gonna keep it at that. Wow, this is not cool. Here's the thing, though, and I think I saved this on. I think I saved it on IG. I sent it to Cassie the other day. It's this chick. No. Okay. I think this is it. So it's this chick right here. Let's see if I can't show you. Her name is what's her name? Kathy Wood, CEO of ARK. I know you can't see all of it. ARK Invest just made the boldest prediction of her career, right? 5 industries that are set to grow 5,000%, fueling historic wealth transfer. Here's who wins and how you can position yourself. She's the founder of ARK Invest, managing nearly $30 billion in assets. She predicted Tesla's 4,000% rise before most had heard of Elon. Blah, blah, blah. AI and robotics is the number one thing she's talking about. The number 2 thing is multi-omics and CRISPR. The next thing is energy storage, blockchain and digital assets, and then space and autonomous mobility. So when I saw this, and then I saw this first, and then we reacted to this video because I haven't seen this video all the way through. I was like, it seems like energy is going to play a big part. If it's in the writing already that it's going to be more prevalent, they're going to be building more of it, more data centers, more energy consumption. It's probably smart to start putting some money towards those industries, because at least for me, I like to control what I can control. And if I can't control what they're doing, I ain't going to stop the data centers from happening. I might as well jump on the bandwagon and try to, cash in some coin as well. But this post comes from Kiko Amac. And I'm not saying do this stuff, chat. I'm not saying, yeah, you should go follow this chick, blah, blah, blah. But basically her prediction is that these could 50x by 2035. So my whole thing is like, you really have to embrace the future, because if you don't, it's going to pass you up, and then you're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities. So I'm thinking some of these industries, I'm talking to my financial planner, and I'm going to be like, hey, what industries do you think we should put some money in? How can we do it? How can we make sure I'm maximizing my money? Because you could play it safe, which is fine. But in my opinion, you can't work yourself to financial freedom. As long as you're trading your time for money, you're always going to be broke. So you got to find a way. Money's a tool. It's got to work for itself, right? In chat, and I'm not sitting here saying I'm a financial planner. I know all this stuff, but this is just something that I'm thinking of once I hear these things. But I think it's truly messed up that a lot of these data centers aren't hiring people locally. Like I said, I got a neighbor who's a trucker, and he was talking to me about the trucking industry is kind of hard right now. I used to work at this company. I'm going to go work at this company now. And shout out to anybody that is a trucker. I appreciate you guys. But he's basically saying like, yeah, I can't get a job at the data center. I'm like, dude, why not? You're what a CDL? I think that's what it is. Like one of those licenses you can drive big trucks. And he's like, dude, they're hiring people from out of town. It's gotten so bad with the data centers. Like I said earlier, the hotels, the motels, and the Airbnbs completely booked. I'm talking completely booked out. And then the average like price of these is like $100 to $150, $200 a night for like a small Airbnb in somebody's backyard. It's gotten so bad that these data centers now are like, oh, instead of paying these day laborers to stay at Airbnbs, hotels, and motels, let's just go buy land and put RVs on the land. So not only did they buy all that land to put the data center up, now they're buying land to put up RVs to house these guys so they can cut costs on how much they pay them. So they pay them their day wage, right? But they don't give them a per diem or like a monthly living wage or anything like that. So now these guys are living closer. And some of these contracts are for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Bro, I tried to get sod the other day in my yard because we're about to have a little girl. We're about to have a daughter. And I'm like, our yard's a lot of weeds. We live in West Texas. It's crappy. It's not a nice yard. Chat, put one in the chat if you got a nice yard. I don't have a nice yard. And I was like, I'm going to hit up some guys. Hit up a few guys. 3 of them didn't get back to me. The 4th one finally got back to me. And he's like, Levi, I'm booked up. I'm full of work from the data center. So he's like, unless you're trying to order 9 to 10 pallets, I'm not even, I can't even come out there. It doesn't make sense for me. I was like, well, how much is that? He's like, it's going to be like $6,000 or $7,000. I got a 1,200 square foot house, maybe a 6,000, 7,000 square foot lot max with a driveway. 6 or 7 bands for some grass? Boy, no. And then I was like, you know what? I want a fence. Want a fence, want a little more privacy. Got quoted like $4,000 for that. I was like, okay, all right. It's because all these guys are working at the data centers and getting paid so much money that they're like, I don't even want to come out and do these regular jobs for the people of Abilene when I'm getting paid so much to go work at these data centers. It's the same things with electricians, with plumbers, construction guys. They're all just out there. A lot of them are driving from out of town. But it's crazy. In chat, put a 1 in the chat if you know where the dicey motels are in your area. You've seen them. You know what they look like. It's like, ugh. I've been watching that Ed Gein show on Netflix with Cass, and it's horrible, by the way. I would not watch it. And we're about to cancel our Netflix because every show on there is just garbage. But we were watching it, and like he's the types of guy that you would see at these motels. The seedy motels, right? We drive by them, booked, full, truck after truck after truck after truck. The night's in. Motel 8, Motel 6, booked. Insane. $200 a night for a Motel 8. Robbery. But this is it seems like the sad future we're going to be going through, and we're going to have to pay for it. But if you invest correctly, maybe we can come out on top of this, chat. I mean, they're taking their coin. You got to play to these advantages. When my grandpa, back in his day, he had somebody knock on his door and say, hey, Marshall, what's his name? He's like, hey, Marshall, you want to invest in Walmart? And he says, Walmart will never work. And my grandfather missed out on a baggie, a whole big old baggie. He could have been one of the first investors into Walmart. You know how big that company is. $1 billion company. So maybe this is our Walmart. Maybe this is our opportunity to invest in something. Now, I'm not saying put 90% of your net worth or your life savings into it, but this is clearly where the future is going. So I think it's in our best interest to at least look at it and try to do it. Or if you want to fight it, go fight it. But good luck paying off all these politicians. And a lot of this stuff's already set in motion. So it seems like it's dead in the water by the time we get there. Money talks, and sadly, our country listens. Shibadanaya should have bought a Honda, put it on a t-shirt. I'll leave you guys with that, man. It's a crazy world we live in. We live in a great country, but capitalism sometimes will eat you up $1 at a time. Ain't that right, Lokes? But let me know in the comments, do you like this style of content? Should we keep doing current events and kind of pop culture? I'm kind of jumping around with the Portland stuff and Chicago and this. I'm just doing things that are prevalent to me and things that I'm personally interested in. So let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. Do you like this style of content? Should I keep doing it? But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It was good to have you guys out, man. Until next time. Peace. Levi Nichs Show.